For anyone who's lived a little bit on the face of this earth, it should be obvious that evil twins aren't just something you see in cartoons. Of course, in real life, things are a little bit more nuanced. Granted, your evil twin won't break stuff to blame you when your parents asked what happened. Instead, that evil twin lives within you as a sum of the worst qualities you can embody. They're the worst possible version of you, the darkest parts of your personality, your shadow self. Of course, I don't know who you are, so the shadow self of your zodiac sign will have to do. Ready? Let's go. Aries. The worst, most unaware Aries will compete with anyone for anything. They get aggressively angry when they don't get their way, and their anger is usually explosive and very damaging. The evil Aries will stop at nothing to get on top, even if this means losing friends along the way. They believe that they're entitled to the crown and that they will get back whatever they lose when they achieve their goal. They're inconsiderate of people's feelings, aggressive and stubborn, and refuse to accept advice even when they so desperately need it. Taurus. The evil Taurus is materialistic to the extreme. Their main goal is achieving wealth and indulging in all of life's luxuries and gifts. They'll refuse to see anyone else's point of view and argue with everyone into oblivion, even when they know they might be wrong. An evil Taurus will employ every means to get wealth, to get the best things in life in terms of food, art, social status, power, housing, sex, you name it. And if that wasn't already enough, they'll also be ridden with envy and jealousy, which will make it very hard for them to maintain relationships. Gemini. The evil Gemini takes its dual nature to an extreme. They'll engage in gossip and bullying, using manipulation and lies to get out of every situation. They'll use their words to control their friends, and they'll deceive everyone if they feel like they'll benefit from them. And the main goal will probably be the highest possible social status, along with the admiration of their friends for their intellect. The evil Gemini will try dominating any social situation and prove their knowledge regarding any possible subject without much real information to sustain their monologues. Cancer. The biggest weapon of an evil Cancer is emotional manipulation. They have no issues posing as a victim and pulling at everyone's heartstrings to gain an advantage. They'll overinflate the relationships they have with people because they feel they could use those people at a later date. They can lie and cause confusion to make themselves seem innocent when, in fact, they're the furthest thing from it. It wouldn't be uncommon for an evil Cancer to shed alligator tears to soften themselves in the eyes of people they see fit, especially when they've made a mistake. Leo. An evil Leo is concerned with social status above all else. They're superficial and judgmental and have no issues employing any means to make themselves seem bigger than they are. They have an overinflated sense of ego and feel threatened whenever they aren't the center of attention. This comes from a deep-seated sense of insecurity, which is why an evil Leo will flash money, cover themselves in luxurious items, and look for the company of higher status people. Their main goal is to impress, and they crave nothing more than the spotlight. Virgo. Whether you'd be dealing with a good Virgo or evil Virgo, you'd have a very hard time knowing the difference. Virgos are generally concerned with doing the right thing, which is why an evil Virgo will probably feel very self-righteous, even when they're killing people as a hobby. The evil Virgo will be highly critical of everything and bordering on mentally abusing the people in their lives. They could be so concerned with perfection that they keep others at impossibly high standards, then punish them harshly when they don't meet up with the expectations. Libra. The evil Libra is a heartbreaker through and through. They have no issues lying to people's faces and gossiping behind their backs, and they won't hesitate to lie shamelessly to keep a pretended sense of harmony. Since these natives are so socially skilled, the evil Libra will use these skills to achieve high status, usually through marriage. This is the kind of situation in which you'd see a Black Widow type of person, a trophy wife who marries rich men only to kill them at a later time to inherit their fortunes. Scorpio. I get shivers only thinking about the evil Scorpio. Average Scorpios are already pretty evil. So a particularly evil Scorpio is probably some sort of Walmart Voldemort. One of the biggest, most common traits of Scorpio natives is their obsessive behavior. Especially when in love, they tend to be pretty creepy, which makes me think that an evil Scorpio is that one guy who stalks their ex across state borders. Revenge is a common theme for these natives, so a Scorpio with no concern for morals won't hesitate to seek justice. Sagittarius. The evil twin of a Sagittarius is probably a crook faith healer or an exceedingly liberal yoga teacher. They have a complete disregard for anyone else's rights and freedoms and will fight their friends into the ground if it means they get to keep the auxiliary cord for the night. They're highly opinionated, which is not a bad thing, but it becomes a significant flaw when they need to remind everyone of their opinion every 5 seconds. The evil Sagittarius is wild, loves to party, and revels in the glory of falling asleep on their neighbor's lawn after having one too many drinks. Many people would feel a bit embarrassed, but not evil Sagittarius. Capricorn. An evil Capricorn is the type of sketchy businessman you see in movies who throws business enemies off their yacht in the middle of the night. They are ruthless and will spare no feelings on their way to the top. Their methodical and rational view of life makes them see everyone as competition, which makes evil Capricorns think of people in hierarchies. This breeds a delightful superiority complex in a person who's already cold and merciless. Needless to say, they aren't the type of people you'd like to cross. But then again, they aren't the type of people you'd like to have around either. Aquarius. Evil Aquarians are probably the real-life version of nerdy villains. You can catch one of these plotting to take over the world, but they're usually just talking, and their talk is a bit too loud to get them very far. In all honesty, a non-Disney version of an evil Aquarius likes to play with people's minds under the pretense of good intentions. Their humanitarian side could end up just being an excuse for control, and they could abuse their loved ones with constant criticism and lack of empathy. And the best part? They won't ever hold themselves to the same standards against which they hold everyone else. Those were standards for mortals, not gods. Pisces. Evil Pisces is the ultimate emotional abuser who succumbs to their dark side without feeling any guilt, then acts as the ultimate victim. This makes their partners feel so bad for them that they forget why they were mad with evil Pisces from the get-go. But they usually have a good reason to be mad, as evil Pisces does not hesitate to lie, cheat, and manipulate, and they usually look too innocent for anyone to blame them. The dark side of these natives can seem very sensitive and charming, but it brings about trouble, especially in romantic relationships. But their friends are not safe either. Leave it to an evil Pisces to cry fake tears and exaggerate their pain to ensure their friends give them attention, reassurance, and validate them, with complete disregard for that other person's actual feelings.